Coming up on ATV News.
It's underhanded, it's dirty, it's a tactic.
We'll show you how a local mattress company is responding to a threatening petition.
And to see the love of everyone that come by.
We'll show you why school buses and cars line the street to pay their respects.
And my favorite part of working out at home is really the commute.
And how some people are keeping their fitness while staying at home.
How close were you paying attention during Aggie Sports this season? Find out when you take my quiz in sports.
In weather, I'll show you how long you have to enjoy these flowers before they could get snowed on.
All that and more. This is ATV News.
For reasons you know, I stand before you in an empty auditorium.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints held general conference at the church office building instead of the conference center, but that didn't stop the president of the church from announcing some major changes. Welcome to this edition of ATV News. I'm Eric Price.
And I'm Austin Elder. I'm joining you from my home office because of COVID-19.
ATV's Shay Densley joins us from an empty Logan Temple.
Yeah, Eric. The parking lot at the Logan Temple is empty after the church closed all temples due to the coronavirus. But that didn't stop President Russell M. Nelson from announcing the construction of 8 more.
We have 168 dedicated temples across the world. Others are at various stages of planning and construction. When plans are announced to erect a new temple, it becomes part of our sacred history.
Countries like the People's Republic of China and the United Arab Emirates will be getting their first temple, but the temple in Syracuse, Utah will be the 24th in the state.
I think it's important, and there's a lot of members here, and they're doing a lot of work.
I think that a lot of people will want to do the work because it'll be closer to them.
17 temples have been built in Utah, with 2 being renovated. 1 is being constructed, and 6 have been announced.
We are pleased to introduce a symbol that will signify the central place of Jesus Christ in His church. The symbol will now be used as a visual identifier for official literature, news, and events of the church.
The new symbol is replacing the church's previous Angel Moroni symbol. In the empty auditorium, conference speakers shared messages about Joseph Smith as the church celebrates the 200th anniversary of Joseph Smith's first vision. As part of this bicentennial, the church released a new proclamation.
We, the first presidency and quorum of the 12 apostles, issue the following proclamation. Its title is The Restoration of the Fullness of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, a bicentennial proclamation to the world.
I think it was an invitation for a lot of non-members because it starts off with saying that basically we want everyone to come to Christ.
President Nelson also announced another worldwide fast will be held on April 10th to help all that are in need during the pandemic. Reporting from the Logan Temple, Shay Densley, ATV News. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Shay.
78 days have passed since the United States reported its first case of COVID-19. Johns Hopkins University says the U.S. has reported just over 340,000 positive cases and almost 14,000 people have died. Almost 23,000 people have recovered from the virus. Reported global cases are over 1.4 million and over 87,000 deaths. More than 300,000 people have now recovered from the virus around the world. Utah has reported 1,846 positive cases and 13 deaths from COVID-19. Over 36,000 people have been tested.
Bear River Health Department released a statement April 2nd that a doctor from a small practice tested positive for the virus. 10 patients saw the doctor and reported having symptoms of the virus. Bear River says those patients will be tested but cannot specify if they tested positive because of HIPAA laws. Bear River Health says 41 people have tested positive for the virus, 28 from Cache County and 13 from Box Elder County. 6 of those are hospitalized. Case counts are updated daily at 1 p.m.
An Arizona man is now in Cache County Jail because of accusations that date back to 2012. Logan City Police arrested 34-year-old Guillermo Farias Thursday. He faces felony charges for 1 count of child rape and 3 counts of sexual abuse of a child for incidents that police say happened while he was living in Cache Valley in 2012. The accusations came from 2 separate young women who were underage at the time.
Could a petition keep hospitals from getting beds? I talked to one mattress company about how it could impact them.
Hello.
Scan in and prepare orders. That's what these Maloof employees are doing during the coronavirus pandemic.
A lot of these products are needed probably more than ever, if you think about it.
Ryan says he's worried about his employees. Competing companies started a petition that could cost workers their jobs. The petition is to stop companies like Maloof from manufacturing outside of the U.S., also known as anti-dumping.
I think that it potentially is affecting jobs and livelihoods of people.
Oh yeah! Eating lunch and conversing. The PR team is coming up with a plan to fight back.
The petition would eliminate the ability for us to sell mattresses, so it'd be a big hit, and we would have to figure out different ways of diversifying our business.
We should boycott too.
With the growing concern over the petition proposed by American-made mattress companies, emotions are running high.
I feel super frustrated.
This bed, made in China, similar to its U.S. competitors, was manufactured at a much cheaper price.
I'm just going to have to artfully argue that.
Chief Legal Officer Jeff Steed is taking action.
We're reaching out to a lot of our contacts there to make certain that they're aware of the situation, that they hear our side of the story, even prior to going to a preliminary hearing.
Taking calls, scrolling, and typing. Receptionist Sue Skinner says,
as a receptionist, I'm probably first to go, just because if there's no one coming in, if there's no one to come and see our products, nobody to meet with us, nobody to set up the business, there's no need for me to be here to greet nobody that comes in.
With coronavirus at large, Sue has a warning for the rival companies.
Maloof helping out in hospitals right now, if you were to interrupt that, you look like a fool.
Scott Carr says if you want to help stop the petition, write to your local legislators and share #StopThePetition on social media.
Residents are back in their home after being evacuated for a gas leak. This car ran into a gas meter, breaking it and leaking natural gas into the area. Logan Fire Department turned off the broken line while closing the street and evacuating residents, forcing one to stop working.
I was on the phone with my boss actually, and Justin opened the door and all I could smell was the gas. So I told my boss, hey, I'm gonna have to call you back.
People waited outside for about 15 minutes before crews let everyone back into their homes. Dominion Energy checked for gas levels in the ground that might have caused harm but did not find any.
A 36-year tradition is canceled because of the virus. The Summerfest Arts Fair is normally on Father's Day weekend, but to help comply with social distancing, the Summerfest planners say having a gathering of 60,000 people would be irresponsible. Summerfest board members say they'll make next year's event better than ever and hope to do a small event this fall.
Coming up, Shay Densley will be back to tell us about weather. Current temperature in Logan is 67 degrees.
And
I would rather be back in Paraguay, so thanks a lot, coronavirus.
We'll tell you when this missionary could be returning to service.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I tried Oxy at a couple of parties. I thought I had it under control. I didn't know it'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again. But an awkward silence can be a great thing. Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Thank you for joining me on ATV Weather. I'm Shay Densley. Taking a look at our national radar, you can see here how we have just a little bit of clouds here. A storm is making its way east, headed towards the east coast. Right now it's just over Michigan, but the storm I want to focus on is here on the west coast at the south end of California. This storm has been building and is slowly making its way northeast. And throughout the day, it's been getting closer to Utah. Right now, it's headed straight to St. George and up through. You can see that a little bit better if we look at the state radar here. You can see how that storm is just beginning to reach the border, pushing its way northeast, and that's going to progress through St. George and a little bit further into the state. But for the most part, you can see the state is nice and clear, and that's really helping get the temperatures up. You can see that if we look at the 7-day forecast. Today, high of 65, low of 36, nice and sunny. Thursday as well, sunny, high of 64, low of 34. Midnight, we'll see some showers, so we don't have to worry about that. 30% chance of that happening on the midnight there. Friday, we're getting a little bit lower, 60 of a high, low of 37. And progressing on to Saturday, we're getting some rain. That's going to happen about 12 o'clock in the afternoon. 20% chance of that, high of 58, low of 33. So our temperatures are still for the most part high. We have had mostly sun, but if we look now over at Sunday is where we're starting to get some disappointments. Easter, we're going to see some snow. Hopefully not a lot, but for the most part, Easter is going to be sunny, so if the snow doesn't stick around for long, it won't interrupt too much on our plans. High of 45, so huge drop in temperature, and that's going to continue on into Monday. Once again, high of 45 with that low of 25. Luckily, the sun is shining on Monday, and that's going to progress to Tuesday, and the temperature is going to rise up to 50. Thank you for joining me on ATV Weather. Back to you, Austin.
Thanks, Shay. Many of us have been through a drive-thru, but I bet you haven't seen one like this.
It's springtime here in the valley, which means Baby Animal Days at the American West Heritage Center. But it looks a little different this year.
In 2017, Baby Animal Days looked like this. Children and adults enjoying a day on the farm.
Those baby horses grow big. Dad, why is there poop everywhere?
With the outbreak of COVID-19, it now looks like this. Families line up in cars to look at animals through car windows. Heritage Center employees say the change was hard but necessary.
It's a hands-on living history museum, so we've had to take that element out, and that's just hard to see that people can't interact and hold the animals.
No, they can't hear us. Only if we roll our window down, but we can't.
Gunnell says drivers must come with people from their own household and stay in their cars with the windows up. Even with these rules, many lined up and still had fun.
It was great. Baby bear cubs were adorable and the little piglets running around were so cute.
Reporting for Baby Animal Days, Caden Anderson, ATV News.
Hundreds of LDS missionaries are going home because of coronavirus. Adam Larson shows you what the transition is like for one of them.
Nate, you're back.
Brothers and video games. Things Nathan Vincent hasn't seen for almost a year. He came home from his mission in Paraguay last week because of the coronavirus.
It was weird. Like, I went one day I was out preaching the gospel. Next day I was home playing with my younger brother, my older brother, just messing around, not being a missionary anymore.
Video chats with investigators and missionaries, and studying scriptures are things he doesn't know how long he'll be doing at home.
I hope he can go back out as soon as possible. He misses the people of Paraguay.
Latter-day Saint missionaries from all over the world are returning home due to the coronavirus, and many of them don't know when they'll be able to go back out. Returning to mission service on temporary assignment in their home country or waiting 12 to 18 months and returning to international assignments are the current options for those who have returned home.
I was told that in 14 days I would be reassigned to a new mission, but now it sounds like I might be reassigned in a couple months. I don't know. I've heard a lot of different things. I don't know which one to believe.
You'll like that.
Eating cake with family is another thing he does to pass time.
Am I getting all the way up to here?
And learning how to cut his brother's hair.
I can't decide if I like it or don't. Like, definitely I miss Paraguay a lot, but it's also super nice to be home with my family. I would rather be back in Paraguay, so thanks a lot, coronavirus.
Adam Larson, ATV News.
To see more information on missionary service updates, click the link on our Facebook page.
A viewing like no other happened today because of COVID-19 and because of a local man's influence on his community. American flags lined the road this morning as the school buses and cars drove by to pay their respects to Nathan Edwin Robinson, better known as Ed. Ed was a school bus driver for Cache County for 40 years. His family says he had a smile and a fist bump for anyone he met. The Robinson family had a viewing for Ed in his front yard to let people pay their respects from a safer distance.
It was so hard to think that we had to have a social distancing viewing, and we didn't know what to do, and so we decided to have it on our front lawn and just let people drive by. And we thought it would never be this wonderful, but I think Dad's in heaven just loving it, just loving every minute.
Ed is survived by his wife Carolyn, 3 daughters, 11 grandchildren, and 18 great-grandchildren. His family says Ed brought many smiles to the children he drove and that driving his school bus was one of his favorite things he ever did. I attended the viewing this morning and it was so cool to see all the buses and the cars and people for miles come and show their respects to Ed and his family and see the community pull together during this time.
And coming up in sports, do you know who scored the most points in an Aggie basketball game this season? Find out that answer and many more after the break.
Hey Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Planning the right amount of food is hard. The Guestimator makes it easy. Just tell it who's coming and what's for dinner. Then it tells you how much to make. And yes, it even plans for leftovers. Try it at SaveTheFood.com.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Thanks for joining me on this special edition of Aggie Sports, where I will be quizzing you on some Aggie Sports highlights that happened this season. So get out your pen and paper, keep track of your answers, and be sure to let me know how you did on our Facebook page. So starting right off with our first question, who scored the most points in an Aggie men's basketball game this season? Was it A, Diogo Brito, B, Neemias Keita, C, Sam Merrill, or D, Justin Bean? And the answer is none other than Sam Merrill. He had 32 points in a win on the road against Colorado State. He scored 30-plus points 7 times in his career, and all of them were on the road. Next question. Which women's basketball player was named to the 2020 Mountain West Women's All-Tournament team? Was it A, Marlene Aniambosu, B, Haley Bassett, C, Lindsey Jensen-Baker, or D, Taylor Franson? And the answer is B, Haley Bassett. She was the only player on the women's basketball team to garner a Mountain West award this season. Next question, who was named Freshman of the Year on the gymnastics team? Was it A, Rebecca Wells, B, Lexi Aragon, C, Maya Fishwick, or D, Sophie Sullivan? And the answer is D, Sophie Sullivan. She also won Co-Beam Specialist of the Year and helped the team get their first winning season in 21 years and first perfect home season in 41 years. All right, moving on to football. How many touchdowns did Jordan Love throw for this season? Is it A, 32, B, 20, C, 8, or D, 37? And the answer is Love passed for 20 touchdowns this season after throwing for 32 last season. He entered the NFL draft, so we won't know how many he could have thrown for next season. What was the longest play our football team had in yards this season? Was it A, 59, B, 62, C, 67, or D, 80? And the answer is 80 yards. COC Mariner caught an 80-yard touchdown pass from Jordan Love in the Aggies' 26-21 victory over Wyoming to get them bowl eligible in mid-November. All right, moving on to women's soccer. Who made the women's soccer Mountain West all-newcomer team? Was it A, Sid Barlow, B, Megan Astle, C, De'Ara Walton, or D, Kristen Reese? And the answer is C, De'Ara Walton. She was a key part of USU's team this season as a freshman and finished the season with 6 shutouts in 18 starts at keeper. All right, last question of our quiz. We're going to finish up with women's volleyball. Who had the most number of kills in a women's volleyball game this season? Was it A, Bailey Downing, B, Haley Cuff, C, Izzy Belknap, or D, Corinne Larson? And the answer is A, Bailey Downing. She finished the season with 169 kills to lead Utah State, the second straight season she led the team in kills. Now that finishes up our quiz. Be sure to let me know how you did on our Facebook page. But when will sports be back? ESPN says in a conference call with Major League Sports Commissioners, President Donald Trump says he believes the NFL season will start as scheduled in September. Now, in a briefing at the White House, he said he wants to see fans back in the arenas, but didn't give a specific date as to when. The NBA was the first league to cut off plays on March 11th. Commissioner Adam Silver says they would love to lead the way in restarting the economy when they get the all clear from public health officials. Both the governor of California and New York disagreed with Trump's statement by saying they don't anticipate that early of a return and will be listening to the guidelines of public health officials as well. Now you're all caught up on Aggie sports. Back to you, Eric.
Thanks, Lisa. The gyms are closed, so how are you going to exercise? Jonathan May might have found a solution.
Working out from home. The coronavirus won't stop these Texans from hitting the iron.
So you can do a lot of workouts at home, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, get your cardiovascular in for running. So generally you can stay in great shape at home as you can at the gym.
This college quarterback says working out from home is another way for family members to bond.
For me, I've been away from home for a little bit, so it's kind of nice to, work out with my family members and just get a different idea of what they're doing, what I'm doing, and, we can collaborate and make up cool workout plans.
These athletes say working out from home allows them to take their time and focus on the lifts they believe make them stronger.
I don't have to fight anybody for a piece of equipment or machine. It's available to when I want to use it and how I want to use it, so I can take my time at times concentrating on your bigger lifts.
Weightlifters say it's about having a plan and sticking to it.
So the advice I have working out of the pandemic is the same advice I give even when your gym's open. It's just to be consistent with whatever you do. You can get some good workouts at home just on body weight alone.
Jonathan May, ATV News.
Thanks for watching this edition of ATV News.
You can watch all of our latest editions on our Facebook page.
We'll leave you with shots of downtown.
I'm only 17, but I know about investing. Believe in something, buy shares in it, watch it grow. So, what if you could invest in the future? The future of kids, like a stock. Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. I could be one of the first college graduates from my family, the first philanthropist from my neighborhood. And if I'm the first, then maybe there's a second and a third. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Hey, you.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education, what are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else?
Or will you dare to do something different?
Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills.
The smarts?
Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget.
That'd be cool.
Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
It's not my first time bartending, so...
It's a sausage party in here.
It's fine. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, because you're a sexy girl, Sam. Last thing,
Yeah.
is that the music, when Momo kicks it into high gear, is going to get a little bit loud in here. So your customers are going to have a hard time hearing you. So you may want to...
What?
No doubt you're going places, young lady.
Thank you. And thank you for the interview as well. I can imagine it was the last thing that you wanted to do after such a long campaign meeting.
You really are a very intelligent young woman. You're very smooth.
You're very smooth yourself.
You have no idea.
Students in biological engineering at Utah State University have the unique chance through the Synthetic Biomanufacturing Institute to engineer uses for spider silk. Projects developed in the lab include medical coatings, strong adhesives, and elastic woven fibers. These Aggies from Utah State are influencing and changing the face of biological engineering. Join them and leave your mark as well.